if you follow the channel, you know we've interviewed them. We've talked about one of our favorites of 2025. It's arguably up there for one of my favorites for 2025. It's not the best for 2025, but it's arguably up there. Um, and this team, because they joined the W this season, we are going to rate last season's and this season's away kits because, they were not in the USLW. So, without further ado, here is Sioux Falls City FC's Elevate kit. And this one doesn't have that same distinct craziness that we saw in the Pathway kit that we looked at earlier in the season. However, this does provide that nice contrast with the white base and then that smooth, almost aura lights type of fade that we started to see. Actually, a few teams do. We've seen Minnesota United do this. We've seen the Aurora do this a little bit. So it's honestly is a clever looking kit, and it's honestly a pretty good idea, and the colors just look good. So I vibe with it.
Yeah, first thought, it's really cool looking. I zoomed into it so I could really see, and it's almost makes a tower going through the middle, which I guess that's the elevate part of this.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool kit for what it is. It's definitely a nice away team kit. I would not mind our high school team rocking something like this, but I'm not 100% sure if I would buy it if it was a local city. So yeah, and I can jump into my scores for this. Design and aesthetics, I gave it 3. I like this, but it's kind of heavy on the sleeves part and so white, just again triangly through the middle.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not a proper word, triangly, but so it's not necessarily aesthetically pleasing to me, but I see what they did. Authenticity and tradition. It's hard for me to say no, it's not, but I can't also say yes, it is. It's their colors. No, it's this, it's that. I gave it 3. Kind of dead in the middle. It's not bad. It's not amazing. Visual details and execution, same thing. I gave it 3. They did a good job. They executed it okay. I don't know if they could have executed this design any better.
Right.
Does that make sense? It's a okay design that they executed fine. But innovation, that's where I bumped it up a little bit. That's where I got my 4 from me. I feel like innovatively, this is something I haven't seen before, and I don't dislike it. But it's just hard for me to look at this after they've hit such a home run with the Pathways kit.
Yeah.
Maybe if we rated this one first, and then the Pathways, it would have felt better. So overall, that's another 3.25 from me.
Oh yeah, I didn't put the graphic. Yeah. So for me, I like the overall side of this. This does remind me of the Minnesota United Northern Lights kit that they released with the white, with the purple, the pink and the blue. I think that this looks really good, especially on the white. I think that just is a aesthetic that I find pleasing. I did give it a 4 for that. When it comes to authenticity and tradition, obviously, I learned this from my interview with Taylor from Sioux Falls, that there are just certain principles that this team loves to do, and that is kind of be creative and let everybody be kind of expressive in who they are, and in this case, elevate each other. I don't know how that correlates to the design in this case, but I think knowing that they're always trying something a little bit new when it comes to their kits, when it comes to it's kind of like Madison. They're not afraid to just kind of play with some color and do a little fun thing. And I think they kind of lean into that with every single kit that they produce. So this fits with what I've seen from them historically. So this is a 3 for me, tradition-wise. But like Fox alluded to, there aren't really a lot of details in this. The gradient work is really good, though. I do like that gradient. It does look good. But there aren't a lot of details, but this was well executed overall. So it's a 3. Innovation and impact, I give it a 4. I think this is a clever design. It looks good, it's sharp, and it fits along this kind of a smaller trend that's happening, but it's a good trend, in my opinion, to kind of do this type of northern. I'm going to keep calling it Northern Lights type of a look. Because, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, they probably did a little bit. So I give it a 4 there, and this turned out to me just be a little bit better, a little bit higher than Fox's at a 3.5 with his 3.25. We did a very reputable 3.38 or Sioux Falls Elevate kit. Now, if you're looking to coat this, to pick this up, this is technically $60 normally is what the price is. However, if you if I minimize this, you will see this is on sale for $45. Now, I'm not going to put in for the kit value the sale price, but I will put in their normal price, and then just for my sake, for you everyone to know. So at normal price, this is a $57.20 kit value. Looks good, obviously this is a solid pickup. It's cheap, it looks good, and it's actually pretty good quality. You can check out our reviews of our own Sioux Falls kits from this season, the Pathway one. But if I were to change the price in the shop down to $45 on sale, the kit value jumped up to $75. So
yeah, there we go. That makes more sense.
all that tells me is if you want to have something that looks unique, that is different, I suggest you pick this up. This is pretty solid, and from what I've heard, next year's going to be pretty good. So you might want to pick this up or wait a little bit longer because there are some cheaper ones on their site. But if you want to look good and unique,
yeah, they get some
one.
The only women's. Say they have that like equity jersey.
They do.
$25.
Mm-hmm.
They got game worn ones too.
They do. So yeah, I'm just saying if anyone is looking for some cheap kits, especially on the women's side, they tend to be. I've learned so far the W minus the Super. Super is kind of mixed bag so far, but the lower level soccer for women's really elevates their kit game. So I've always liked what they almost any team across the board does. So high on my list, and I definitely recommend picking this one up. Any final thoughts here, Fox?
No, I really like this jersey. It's just not necessarily what I would pick up quickly. So I would still pick it up eventually. I mean, it's $25, so like,
right.
It's a good quality kit for a good price. And they actually still have men's sizes too. I was looking at all the other ones, and all they have left are women's sizes.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, that is the Sioux Falls City Elevate kit for 2024-2025.